And that's the music. And hello, and once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor. And with me, as always, is
Phil, me, and Perich, player.
Philip. Yeah, I got a bit of a cold. I'm fighting. And it's one of the. Well, I went walking in the rain on an icy cold day.
Ooh.
Because I was trying to get my steps in. I was trying to be, the kind of guy who doesn't just sit at a desk all day. And I got myself sick on Wednesday because I was walking in freezing rain, and now I'm just sort of fighting it. And I probably shouldn't have gone for a walk today because it's still cold out. But I'm an idiot. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Phil, when someone's an idiot? Nothing you can do.
Trying to stay healthy.
Okay. Yeah. So moving right along. What can we talk about tonight? Okay, so let's talk about a lot of news. First news, small news. Don't need to go on it too big, but Black Panther. Black Panther is certified fresh, Philip. Yay for the Black Panther.
Well, Lilith and I were talking about this last night. It was like at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then I guess it came down a little bit because there was one bad review, but everyone was yelling at that guy because you know what his bad review was?
What?
That Black Panther, I think this is a direct quote, that Black Panther didn't punch enough bad guys.
Well, it's a fair cop. It is a fair cop. But here's what I'm going to say, because there was supposed to be this big SIW movement, for the social injustice warriors. We're out there to destroy Black Panther, and of course Netflix very reasonably said, hey, look, we do not tolerate trolls. If you want to give a legitimate review, give a legitimate review, but we're not going to tolerate reviews that aren't based on legitimate opinions.
Well, maybe they weren't.
So, for example,
maybe they weren't smart enough to know how to use Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Or this is the other possibility. Black Panther is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
Because Fox News, not exactly a social justice warriors place to feel comfortable, really a place where social injustice warriors feel that they are beloved. Fox News said it was a jaw-droppingly fantastic film. So think about that for a moment. That it could just be just too damn good of a film.
Well, you listened to my Mark Waid interview, right? I mean, we weren't even talking about it. And he just came out of nowhere. He was like, "I saw Black Panther already." He's like, "It's like so good."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing.
The man knows good storytelling, so hey.
Well, but this. Oh man, I hope I make it through this podcast. Here's the thing, because they always get this criticism. Whenever they would say, well, we don't want to do this film yet because it has to be right.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be perfect. And a lot of people see that as a cop-out to say, oh, you just don't want films with diverse casts and diverse people. That's an argument, but I think it's wrong. I think it is specifically wrong because we do see when they make a really good film, it transcends.
Oh, yeah.
And as an example, we have been through it too many times where someone says, oh, we can't make a film about a female superhero because 30 years ago, Supergirl didn't make a lot of money at the box office. And that's the thing. And when you're going into this and that's the standard that you're held to, that you can't just make a film about a female superhero, a black superhero. You've got to make a fantastic film about a black superhero or a female superhero. And once you get over that hump, once you have your hit, then you can move forward. I think Wonder Woman. Now that there has been a Wonder Woman, I don't think anyone's going to be mentioning Supergirl or Black Cat again, or not Black Cat, Catwoman again. Yeah, there hasn't been a Black Cat film yet. Although, speaking of Catwoman, that does take us to our second topic of the night, and Black Cat too. Stay with me, Phil. I gave you the list of what we're talking about tonight. Unless you want to talk more about the Black Panther.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's great that it does have that really great freshness score, possibly because not Netflix, Rotten Tomatoes was good at sussing out the social injustice warriors, or possibly because that once people actually saw it, nobody, even the most socially unjust warrior, could not really stand against it. And you know what? For what it's worth, you can be a racist and enjoy this, because there are things that, if you are a racist, there are things about Wakanda that are going to make you go, "Yep, I completely get that." That's the Africa's just falling. Because Wakanda sits on the sideline, because there's apparently an opening scene. Wakanda sitting on the sidelines during colonialization, the transatlantic slave trade. That throughout it all, Wakanda is just, they're in their kingdom. They don't care about the rest of Africa. They only care about themselves. And that's a very negative view to have sometimes, you can imagine. So, I can see how a racist might like it. That's all I'm saying. And then it's got a lot of punching and superheroes.
Got something for everyone.
Yeah, well, and for what it's worth, there's lots of, I'm not a racist, but folks who are going to say, well, sure, if you're the king of Wakanda, I can accept you as a black person.
Oh.
So yeah, there's something for everyone in this book. Okay,
but you said something about Black Cat. Then are you hinting at another Sony movie, or?
Well, and for what it's worth, yes. Statements right now that DC is doing a Joker origin film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to me because as much as all of the Jerome version of the Joker, it's not an official origin of the Joker yet, because he's not officially the Joker. He's still Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
And as great as his origin as this is, whatever origin they give to the Joker is going to be the quintessential origin going forward. I know the Jack Nicholson origin is based on the Joker, because they've done the origins of the Joker. But the idea of not having an origin, much in the way that Logan, for a very long time, Wolverine didn't have a real origin.
Mm-hmm.
And origins. And what you got bits and pieces they could trace them back. I think you found out about Weapon X before you got Logan Wolverine origins, if I'm not mistaken. So we knew that he had been experimented on. We knew that he had gotten the adamantium implanted in him. We just didn't know. And I know that because I watched the X-Men cartoon where they did the Weapon X program, and that was before Wolverine had bone claws.
Yeah, it wasn't until that Origin miniseries he got the bone. I think they revealed. Oh no! It was the '90s when they got the adamantium ripped out of him that they revealed he had bone claws. Yeah.
Yes, and but just prior to that, that was not established yet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want a Joker origin. It's just one of those characters that I don't know if it works. It's going to work as well without the origin. It works better without an actual laid out origin. And Charlie, are you there? So yeah, I'm up in the air. Wait for Charlie. Like I said, I don't know if I like the Joker as like pure chaos, and he's oh, Charlie, hold on. I have Charlie back. Maybe. I see 2 Charlie Essers on my screen. Oh, I see two Charlie.
There, I'm back. Yes, okay, I'm back.
I was just saying to myself, I don't know if I like it, like the Joker to have a nailed down origin, if like he works better as like this chaotic character who you don't know is he scarier when you don't know where he comes from? At least not every.
Well, I mean, that's
at least
the
not
theory.
Every detail.
Yeah, but that's the theory. But you know what? Maybe just like when they decided it was time to tell Wolverine's origin, and now people love it, but at the time, there was a lot of ambiguity about it.
Yeah, I guess. And the character's been around almost as long as Batman, so I guess. Yeah. I mean, if anyone deserves an origin, it's like, hey, if you've been around since like 1940, yeah, I guess you can.
Yeah. And if not for nothing, it also differentiates him from the Joker, from what's his name is Joker, the Joker that played up the fact that he didn't have an origin. Guy who died, I forget his name.
You lost me.
The guy who was in the Dark Knight series, who was the Joker?
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Thank you. Heath Ledger. Giving the Joker a definitive origin differentiates him from a Heath Ledger character.
Okay. Because
as the Joker, he is his own character.
Yeah.
He is his own thing. And that Heath Ledger was very big about, you want to know how I got these scars? And would tell a different story every time. And having this Joker that has an origin differentiates it.
But I think that's what makes him scarier, though, too, is like the Heath Ledger Joker, you don't know his origin, so it's like it's harder to predict what he's going to do next because you don't know what kind of man this is. Except for what
exactly.
You
now. Which people have pointed out that for some case, he intricate plan.
Mm-hmm.
Blood on everything going exactly the way he wanted to. Anytime when your plan starts, you know that you got some kind of 7th level thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's because, and so finding out this Joker's origin is going to be interesting. We'll have to see if it follows the White Knight origin, where it goes. But I think once they do this, that is going to be the definitive Joker origin.
Mm-hmm.
I think much like, even though it's not the comic books, because I think it's going to be successful.
Yeah, and Marvel and DC kind of like to follow suit with like the movies. So, it seems like a lot of times they steer towards movies once the movies come out.
Yeah, but just and they've been doing that for years.
Oh yeah.
But because this is a place, basically what it is this Joker will be this will be a very popular film.
Mm-hmm.
As a Joker film, it's going to be very popular. And I was reading today, how basically DC has slated just about as many villain films as it does superhero films. That between the Suicide Squad, the Black Adam film, the Deathstroke film, and although I heard it somewhere else first, I don't know where. I've been thinking people, hey, it'd be really cool if they had these villains build to a villains, and then you have the villains come together in their Legion of Doom in your ultimate movie, doing that reverse of the Avengers, and of course focusing on their villains serves multiple fronts. First off, DC has way more interesting villains than they do heroes. Tim Drake aside. Oh, sorry, not Tim Drake. Dick Grayson aside.
I mean, it might be interesting, but like, isn't that like one of the big critiques of, one of the big things people don't like about the DCEU is they say it's like too dark. Well, it's like, well, how light can you get if half your movies are villains?
Well,
I mean, how light can you go with a Deathstroke movie?
But that's the point. Because it's a Deathstroke movie, as I always say, you can steer into the skid.
Okay. Yeah.
You can steer right in and regain control. You say, you know what? Everyone says we're too dark and gritty. And what they're saying isn't that these films are too dark and gritty. They're saying these films are too dark and gritty for Superman, for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Too dark and gritty. Well, nobody talks about Green Lantern, but get the idea. So The Flash, the Flash having stories that take place at night doesn't make sense for the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Batman is a nighttime superhero. All the other superheroes have powers. They don't need to only go out at nighttime. They don't need the cloak of darkness to protect them. They have, super speed, vulnerability, and actual invulnerability. So
yeah.
But if you make it about the villains, then it suddenly makes sense that they're always out at night. Then it makes sense that it's always in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point. You can steer into that curve. And for what it's worth, they aren't the only ones following this track. And we look at what somebody's next film is, because we got Venom. They will be yes. And we also know that we're also doing a Black Cat and Silver Sable film.
Mm-hmm.
And that officially the Doctor is still in the works at Fox.
You're getting choppy. You're getting really choppy. But you said Doom. Yeah.
Doom isn't. And we have these films where the Marvel heroes, the heroes that, because everyone knows Marvel does heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone who isn't Marvel is saying, you know what? Let's steer into our villains. Because you always get those same critiques of other people doing the shows. Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. It's too dark and awful. The what do you just awful. And the recent Spider-Man films. That we don't want to see Spider-Man. Which is kind of weird because I always felt Spider-Man was basically a teen angst comic with superpowers.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't perfect, but I didn't have any problem with some of these last Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch them that much either, but Tobey Maguire only.
So, but you watched but you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, is Tobey Maguire in the Venom film?
Is he in the Venom film? I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. There is. You only get like a brief clip of it, and I'm not up on what Maguire looks exactly like right now. But when you first see the symbiote in the little container, and there's this guy who's dressed all in black, kind of nerdy looking, picks it up.
Yeah.
That looked a lot like Tobey Maguire to me. If that's not actually Tobey Maguire, I kind of feel that is meant to be a direct reference to Tobey Maguire.
I was going to say, unless that's like a giant Easter egg or something, yeah.
Yeah. I could totally see Tobey Maguire being. Although, obviously, if Tobey Maguire was in that scene and no one knew Tobey Maguire was in the film, I'm sure it would be all over the internet right now. But you look at that scene, that guy looks like Tobey Maguire. Also interesting, it looks like we have a downed alien spaceship at one scene in this trailer.
It was hard to tell. I was watching on my phone. Was that a ship or was that like an asteroid or something or a meteor?
No. It was definitely something built and designed.
Okay.
Because it had filigree. It was definitely. I thought maybe it's a piece of a building, but it looked like a crashed spaceship. To me.
I wonder if it's going to end up where it's going to be like multiple symbiotes on there, like the Carnage symbiote.
Yeah. Entirely possible. I'm sure we're going to get Carnage in this. I'm sure Cassidy is going to be in this film somewhere. You know, I'm not 100% sold on Venom. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
because I don't know if I buy their Eddie Brock. I'm not sure. And they did a weird fast motion face thing at the end of it, which is like nobody likes that. Why are you doing that? That's not a thing. No, nobody likes that. You don't do that. You know, that's first off, that's a low rent special effect that you do in low rent films because you can't do high rent special effects.
And Sony,
everyone knows exactly. They can afford a better special effect there. They can tell that story in a visual way that doesn't require this weird, blurry, shaky face thing, you know.
But I mean, it's just, I don't know. I've never really bought Eddie Brock as like the star of his own story. I like him better when he's like a Spider-Man villain, or you know.
Yeah, well, and this is where Sony may fail again. You know, because they may just find themselves trying to steer into a curve. It's trying to steer into a skid they're not actually in.
Yeah, they're trying to use all these tangential Spider-Man characters. Why don't they just sell the character back for $1 billion?
We did the last time. Let Marvel make the film and collect the money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, here, guys.
But of course,
wouldn't the MCU jump at that? But like, here's Spider-Man and all of his characters. You can use them all.
Yeah, and just give us the money. You know.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. License it back to Marvel like you do your T-shirt.
Yeah.
And suddenly their business model becomes, because Marvel still gets the T-shirts, they basically step up they do a jujitsu thing where now they're getting the licensing money without having to do the work. But because it's an entertainment company, there's probably some nerd there who's like, oh, but we can make a better story than they ever could. I don't like their stories because I didn't write them.
No, you know? I guarantee you what it is they're probably like, oh, you know, if we do this, we have to split the money with Disney. If we do it ourselves, we get to keep all the money. Yeah,
but you know what? 100% of nothing is not good as 50% of a lot of not nothing.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 50% of a lot more is a lot more. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that I always felt that they were developing these things just to hedge their bets against Marvel because they have to still show their interest. And for what it's worth, maybe that's all they are doing. Maybe Venom is basically a Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. It could be.
Or they're sitting there and it's just like, it's just a horror movie. We could do a horror movie.
Venom's not a horror movie.
I know, but I'm thinking that's kind of what they're doing. Space creature from space.
Yeah, I know, and that's what they're doing at Fox with New Mutants for some reason.
Yeah,
Jason was saying there's a Marvel horror film coming out, and I said, "Oh, are they doing a Marvel Zombies film?" No, it's called New Mutants.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, it's just because it has a werewolf in it doesn't make it a horror film, Fox.
That's what I said when they first announced that New Mutants thing. I was like, what? Or some executives just like, what are the kids like? Kids in horror movies. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they said the same thing about Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, for those who don't remember. They specifically said it was going to be, it's much more of a horror film than a superhero film. And they haven't learned the lesson. So what they're doing is saying, well, no. The problem with Josh Trank's Fantastic Four was either Josh Trank is bad at his job or the Fantastic Four just isn't a viable concept as a movie. And they say, but we know the mutants are viable, so we're just going to do that.
Well, that's the problem when they mix their genres and stuff. It's like stick to you can mix up events and timelines and stuff, but stick as close to that original the source material as you can.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
And you know what? There's already a Marvel made Blade. And did I lose you, Phil?
You're back now.
Okay. Marvel made Blade. Blade made a lot of money, everyone was happy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. You can watch TV out here, honey. We do get a lot of channels. Yeah. Well, because because you can't be on, because now that we are on the Wi-Fi hotspot through AT&T, basically, when you're doing this kind of stuff, you can stream, you can watch just fine, but you want to try and do this kind of crazy, hypey video. Wah, wah, wah. It doesn't work. You can't all be on the same hotspot, as we saw with the Mark Waid interview.
Wade.
No, Wade was wonderful.
I know. Wade was great.
They,
did you freeze again? Are you trying to hit a high note? Looks like he's trying.
My thing too.
There you are.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're the one that wanted to keep the video going. My Skype worked great. Well, no, my Skype didn't work great with Maz, but then we realized that was actually Maz's problem. When I was doing the third episode of Just Punishments.
Poor Maz.
Yes. Anyway.
But
Maz is awesome. We got
oh,
a
yeah.
amount of capes and lunatics.
Oh yeah, I keep saying I want to, but here, let's switch topics. We said Wade, Deadpool 2. Did you see the Meet Cable trailer or whatever it was?
That was great. Yeah, Cable. The Cable movie.
I love that. They took their shot at Justice League. What's with that arm? It's not like we're trying to digitally erase a mustache or something.
Yeah. That was hilarious. And they intentionally made a bad arm there, because they were pointing out. I don't know. I didn't even notice he had a mustache. I have no idea. But yeah, so it was funny, and I liked his little Sheriff Woody bit, and his, he did his whole breaking the fourth wall. He did what he does. He is Deadpool. But I really liked Cable in it. Yeah.
And we got a group shot of like those two and Domino and some people behind them. People are saying, is that X-Force? Because an X-Force movie is coming eventually.
Yeah. Well, could be. Could be. Did they have Strongman?
I don't know. Well, they really
did. Was Strongman and X-Force?
X Factor. But I think.
Strongman was X Factor? Okay. Yeah, I thought he was on X-Force too at some point.
They had a couple. They showed a bunch of people. People were like, "Is that Terry Crews?" They really didn't like. They just had that one shot. So people were like, "Is that Terry Crews?" And there was like,
so it's like
there was like a
there was like me and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, and there was a guy behind him, and it was like some people were like, "Was that Shatterstar?" Or
Yeah.
But yeah, they really had.
Wait, you mean Terry Crews the actor, or there's a comic book character named Terry?
No, Terry Crews the actor was somebody, and someone was like, "Oh, is that GW Bridge, or is that so and so, or is that?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool then. I love Terry Crews. I'd love to see him. Oh, Terry Crews would be so great in a Deadpool film. The only problem is I don't know if Ryan Reynolds can be in a film with Terry Crews. I think Ryan Reynolds doesn't have a lot of ego. But I think losing the film to a Terry Crews character could really hurt his ego.
Is he intimidating?
Ryan Reynolds, for a beautiful man, is really self-effacing, very, and he knows how beautiful he is as Deadpool. He knows he doesn't pull it off. He knows.
And we still want him on Wade's World for an interview.
I'll call his agent.
Thank you.
You know what? I bet you I can find out who his agent is. I bet you we can make it happen. I bet you we can make it happen.
Lilith even says, let's get him and Blake Lively on there and talk to both of them.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't know who Blake Lively is, but
his wife. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Wife. Okay.
Yeah, I think that no family could live with two Ryan Reynolds in it. So I think that she would be like, no. Ryan Reynolds would be like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And Blake Lively would be like, yeah, okay, you have fun.
All right,
you have fun.
Use your powers of persuasion. Get us Ryan Reynolds.
I'm going to do, you know what? When I was a kid, you'd be surprised how close I got to a lot of celebrities just with Yellow Pages and back, because this was before the internet, man. Now I have the internet. If I had the internet as an 18-year-old kid, I would be the king of Hollywood.
Back in the day when they used those funky phrases like restraining order.
Yeah, well, no, this was before then. I'm going all the way back to the mid to late 80s. So I was in high school at the time. I was just a just some dumb kid. But because I wanted to jazz because I had no idea what that meant, but I knew I wanted to do a motion picture with this was just about the time that Dick Tracy came out, and I was a big Madonna fan. Wasn't until Dick Tracy, so that tells you how much of a nerd I was. I was like, "Is it Dick Tracy film? Hey, who's this blonde girl? I like her. She's fun." So yeah, and then I became a huge Madonna fan. Saw all her movies, and I liked them. Well, maybe not some of the more recent ones. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
I was gonna say before we run out of time, Jessica Jones 2 trailer.
Awesome. Very good. Yes. We do have to wrap up because we have other things we're doing tonight.
But
did
I see? Was it confirmed, or is that just a rumor that Patsy Walker is going to be Hellcat?
That is not confirmed. That is just a rumor. Here's how it goes. Okay. So we do see Patsy Walker throw it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, here's the thing most folks don't know about Hellcat. Originally, her powers came from her suit.
Yeah. Because
remember, this is comic books, and you could have a skin-tight polyester suit that gave you superpowers. Just like the Greatest American Hero.
Microcircuitry.
It worked. Yes. But you know what? You know what, kiddos?
What, Dad?
Just saw that in Luke Cage. We just saw that in Luke Cage. We saw Diamondback super suit.
Oh yeah.
That's Iron Man armor. That is a disco jumpsuit with a backpack. And this is a couple generations on from that because this is the top secret one. And this is the Hellcat suit. And you know what? And you look at the Peter Parker suit in Spider-Man. Although it's not designed to give him super strength, think about all the things that it's doing. If you didn't have it do all those things, would it be that unusual? It could do super strength and agility and stuff like that.
It's weaponized with everything
else. Sense?
Yeah.
This is my point. And that's Stark Tech. But it's not that hard once someone else does something to basically build upon what they've found. Mm-hmm. That is the entire story of development. And so this is interesting because it does seem to be very much about Jessica's origins, finding her origin, and telling her story. And that's pretty cool.
Well, that's what I found interesting is wasn't like the original comic book origins, like her and her family get in this car accident, she gets hit by chemicals, they're killed, and that's where she gets her powers. But I'm wondering if they're gonna change that origin on the Netflix show. Is that going to be reflected in the comics, especially now that Bendis is gone for Marvel? Are they gonna?
It's entirely possible they might. It depends on how popular it is. Mm-hmm. What I found most interesting is because it's important to remember that because Jessica Jones is retconned into the Marvel universe, she has a Silver Age origin. Mm-hmm. She has basically the Flash's origin with more tragedy.
A little more violent.
Chemicals spilled on me. Yeah, chemicals spilled on me, and now I have superpowers. So it's like a dark, through the mirror, darkly the Flash is Jessica Jones.
I mean, I could see them keeping that, but are they going to say, but that was part of a big conspiracy or something?
Well, no. They actually stated in the trailer, you died and they brought you back to life.
Yeah.
Shades of Flip Coulson.
Just a side effect, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, But the idea that basically they took these people and that basically it wasn't the chemicals that brought her back to life. It was that she died in an unfortunate way and her body was resurrected using not for nothing, that home-based protocol, that doesn't always work the first time. This was still under Hydra. Remember, this is the thing you always got to remember about these things. Everything that happened in the past was when S.H.I.E.L.D. was secretly controlled by Hydra. And Hydra was secretly infiltrating every aspect of S.H.I.E.L.D. And they could hide all these things. And they could do all this evil. And there were just enough people who felt because they were on the side of angels, it didn't matter if they did evil, that they could get away with it. And so that home-based protocol that eventually resurrects Phil Coulson is what was used to create Jessica Jones. And for fun, because it's Kree DNA, and she didn't go mad, what do we know from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it means if you get the home-based protocol and you don't go mad?
You went to Tahiti?
No. Daisy Johnson?
Oh, you're Inhuman.
You have a latent Inhuman gene.
Would Marvel make her an Inhuman?
I'm making everybody Inhumans now.
Unless they wait and make her a mutant or something.
No. Nobody likes mutants anymore. Nobody likes your lazy
I don't know.
Stanley.
Disney paid an awful lot so they could use that word again in that
yeah.
That
they paid did they pay a lot to use the word mutant, or did they pay a lot just to use the character Wolverine?
I was gonna say, did they pay for the use of the word schnicked?
They paid for the adamantium. That's the thing.
Yes,
they paid for the adamantium.
That shield's gonna be adamantium and vibranium again. Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, no. What's gonna happen? Because you notice Cap's shield in the new film.
Yeah, they're on his arms. Yeah, they like shoot out or whatever.
Yeah, they're actually more similar to a traditionally designed African shield, which is more triangular, but also more longwise. Which makes sense because they're going to have Wakandan designs.
But something's going to happen, and I don't know if there's something's going to happen to those shields or something. But I guarantee you, by the end of that first movie, Captain America is probably going to pick up his original shield. Mark my words.
Oh yeah. No, he's going to get his old shield back. But you know what? But here's how you know that the Fox deal has been good. You'll have Black Panther look at this. This is actually not pure vibranium. This is something very different.
A mix. Yes.
Yeah. There you go, man. That's what I'm telling you.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you. That's how you know they got adamantium. And then they're going to start working with adamantium. They're going to create the adamantium and yada yada yada.
Oh.
And there you go.
Oh, that'd be awesome. What if Black Panther is the one to discover adamantium?
Well, it's entirely possible. Although they can always retcon it that adamantium exists, but there's type 1, type 2, because you can't get enough vibranium to make pure adamantium, which you actually kind of have implied in Luke Cage when they have the lesser Jesus, the lesser God Killer bullets, the lesser Judas bullets, that aren't as bad as like the pure Judas bullets. So it's all connected, Phil. Marvel hasn't forgotten. They are laying continuity left and right.
It's super.
And when they want to, they can just say, "It's super connected." And of course, end of the series. Jessica was brought back to life with someone else.
Oh yeah.
So we're leaving on that. Go watch the Jessica Jones trailers, kids. You're gonna love it. Venom trailer, if you like Venom, I guess it's a good trailer. And Deadpool trailer, very, very, very delightful if you like Deadpool. But Jessica Jones, I would say, of those 3 trailers, Jessica Jones is probably my favorite. Let's call it a night. Philip, how can people find you?
Well, if they want to get a hold of me, it's nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp, and you can get a hold of all of us on the Capes and Lunatics @gmail.com, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
I'm trying to do something there. And of course, if you'd like to write to me that old-fashioned email way the way our moms and paws once did, you can do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter and say live tweet Agents of the Shield, which isn't even on tonight, I don't think. But if it were, I'd be live tweeting it because, hey, we might have before 9. It's not on. So never mind, but I have Channel 7 on my TV, so I can do it now. In fact, I can only live tweet it now. @Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIEESSER. Look for the 2 E's right there in the middle for quality. Thank you for connecting with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please, super connect with us again. Guten Nacht. Schlafen Sie gut.
We are Venom.